Attention, quiet on the set. It's Tirade TV. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another hot, fresh episode. This your boy, B. Lloyd with Tirade TV. And you know how I do. I like to go to the headlines. Sometimes the headlines that most people don't really see. But before we get into that, if you haven't done so already, please like, share, subscribe. And also, anytime you feel a need to, please comment. All your opinions are welcome as long as they're respectful and they don't demean or diminish anyone. Um, Also, for those who love to drive and listen, download our podcast on Shopify. You'll see this face um, on the cover when you search for Tirade TV on Spotify. Now, with that out of the way, I usually love things that the state of Texas does, especially certain laws, that are implemented and certain things cities and towns do, love the people. But this particular instance, I'm kind of questioning. This story is about Forney Independent School District. It's a school district near Dallas. And what they've done recently is they've actually just changed the dress code. So they have a new dress code for this upcoming school year. But there is some backlash. Now we're going to see why there's backlash. Let's check it out. Share this with you real fast. This is just take a look at this. It's going to seem okay in the beginning, but then we'll get into it a little deeper.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher. I know there's a lot I need to learn in the classroom to be successful, but beyond what's in our textbooks, I need to learn other important skills too, like how to have a good work ethic and to be a good listener, or how to be kind and courteous and work with others.
Sounds good so far.
I may be a little young to understand what professionalism means right now, but the skills I'm learning are an essential part of being successful in my future career. Every profession has a dress code, whether it's scrubs, a welding helmet, or a chef's apron. The way I dress plays an important role in professionalism and safety, both in the classroom and on the job site. In fact, professionalism is one of the top 5 employability skills employers look for. So I'm starting early by shining in a classroom and following the school dress code.
Let me just stop it right there just for a minute. You see, there's nothing wrong with working a job, working your 9 to 5, whatever. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. But the issue I have here is most schools are teaching kids to become employees and not employers. They just said here, it's going to prepare you for your career, or professionalism is one of the top 5. I think it said, most employable, traits. That's fine if you want to do that, but based on my opinion, from what I've experienced in school, my kids, I also have kids that have gone to school. Some have already graduated. And the one thing that even they agree with me on is they don't teach you things for the real world. And they don't teach you how to go out and start a business. They teach you to go work for someone else. And that is an issue I have, with basically the current schooling system. But that's just my opinion. You all may differ on that. But let's get back to the video.
Later on, I can shine in the workforce too. As a student, I will do my part with the help of my family and teachers to learn and model professionalism as I prepare for my dream career. For an updated Forney ISD dress code, visit the Forney ISD website.
As she said, there are so many important future workforce skills that we want to impart in our kids as they head off to have a successful future. Things like creativity and collaboration.
This guy doesn't even sound believable.
Are so important, but what's also important are some of the foundational baseline employability skills. Showing up
there
to
we go
work
again,
every day
employability skills.
on time. Communicating with your colleagues in a positive way. Making sure that you're following the expectations that your employer has set forth.
Employer.
And even just being engaged at work all the time.
At work.
Those translate into our schools as well. So we are so excited to reset this bar with you, with our parents, with our community members, with all of our business partners, as we work together to take our schools, our classrooms, back for the future of our kids.
Back to the future of our kids, okay?
And exciting learning environment in Forney ISD. Look forward.
Look forward. I'm not even going to go there with him right now, but you see that you may say, okay, that seems okay. You know, there's nothing too wrong with that, right? Except for the fact that they're, basically telling our kids to go to school and prepare to go work for someone else. And as I stated earlier, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be a worker bee, there's nothing wrong with that. But me personally, I just feel the school district should basically have kids, teach them more about being leaders, about being employers, how to successfully operate and run a business. That's just my opinion on that. But for some reason, they refuse to do that. As I always said, just based on my experience and my experiences and my kids' experiences, I have kids that are in school, kids that have already graduated. And one thing they agree with me on is the fact that they do not teach you real life skills. So, but that's beyond the point right now. That's kind of like my little mini rant for the for this video, for this episode. But let's get on, because that seemed okay. It didn't seem too bad, right? Okay. And I know we're talking about dress code, so I definitely want to stay on subject. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you another video. Same school district, right? Now look at this here.
Forney ISD students will have a new dress code this fall, so the district is banning any clothing with a hood. Also not allowed dresses, skirts, skirts for students in 5th through 12th grade. The only acceptable option, slacks, shorts, and capri pants. They believe the changes will promote positive behavior and self-esteem.
Now, here's my thing. I'm kind of torn, and let me explain why. When it comes to clothing with hoods, like hoodies, jackets, coats, things like that, first of all, when it's winter, there are a few cold days in Texas. It may not be as cold as it gets up north, in Chicago, New York, Minnesota, wherever. It doesn't get that cold down here. But lately, I would say probably in February, it's been getting a little bit colder than it normally has been, right? So you have to give other options there. If I can't wear anything with a hood on it, then what am I going to wear? Yeah, I can wear a cap. That's fine. But some of these, on certain cold days, that wind can really cut through, the neck or the collar area of your shirt or jacket. So you may need something with a hood on it to cover your ears and your neck and everything up. Now, with that being said, being a person who's been in front of people teaching, whether it's Bible study or, in church, delivering a message or a sermon, it is a little bit difficult for when you're up there teaching and someone has a hoodie, not only has the hoodie on, but the hood is pulled up over their face, right? I can understand the teachers not wanting that, because that is honestly, it's disrespectful. And for some reason, this 25 and under crowd love to wear hoodies. It could be 110 degrees outside. They have a hoodie on with the hood on over their head. And that I don't like. So if that's the reason, I can kind of understand that. You know, uh, about 5 or 6 years ago, my wife and I was talking to one of the managers at a Walmart, and we were talking about theft that occurs in Walmart and retail stores. And she was told that at her particular location, one thing they look for when it comes to preventing theft is people that walk in the store with hoodies on, with the hoods over their head. To them, that is a clear-cut sign that, they may be up to something, especially during seasons where it is not even, a hoodie's not even required. It's not even necessary. That's one of the signs. Doesn't mean that everyone that's wearing a hoodie is being, doing anything wrong or illegal. It's just one of the things that they're taught, to look at, is what she told us. So I see, young people riding around in the cars with the windows up, tinted windows, but you can still see that while they're driving, they have a hoodie on, the hood over their head. I'm not understanding why. I know it may be just a fashion thing, but as I said, if that's their reason for not allowing clothing or apparel with hoods on it, I can almost understand that, except for on those extremely cold days. That's something that you really have to you really have to think about. Uh Now, this next video that I'm going to show you was, first of all, let's stop there. They said that shorts or skirts and skirts and dresses are pretty much banned from the 5th through the 12th grade. That's very strange, because obviously in I guess what I'll call a normal society, only girls, wear dresses and skirts and skirts, right? But to me, you have to really make sure that you're not making the girls more masculine, taking away their what's the word, femininity, I guess that's the word. Make sure that they remain feminine. you know um my daughters, when they were real small and coming up in school, they would wear plenty of dresses. They would love the color pink, different colors too, but definitely the color pink. I remember buying our daughters skirts. And for those who don't know what a skirt is, it's basically a combination of a skirt and shorts, so that nothing, will be revealed that shouldn't be revealed. But it gives the I guess the look or the illusion of wearing a skirt, but it's actually shorts. I think those are perfectly fine as long as they're long enough. Like when they come to skirts, dresses, skirts, as long as they're long enough, as long as they're not revealing, I'm perfectly fine with them. Let the young ladies get out there and be as feminine as they want to be. Don't limit them being feminine. I would say don't do that. And that's kind of what this is doing. It's making them say, okay, we either have to wear pants or we have to wear, I think it was capris, right? But there are some young ladies that love being feminine and extra feminine, and they love wearing dresses and skirts or skirts for that matter. And I saw a comment on here that someone brought up a good point. What about those young ladies, those girls who have to wear dresses because of their religious beliefs? Now, that could cause an issue, because I've been around people who wear dresses all the time because of their religious beliefs, you know. Um so what are they going to do about that? Because that's bringing up a potential lawsuit. Not only are you're basically telling my kids for no valid reason, that they can't wear dresses, skirts, skirts, they can't wear those. Now, the proper way to do this is tell them that, hey, you can wear them as long as they are of a certain length. I think the old rule used to be no shorter than an inch above the knees. I could see that. Or some people, back in the day, back in the little maybe it's the private schools or whatever, where they would have the young ladies, the girls wearing like the skirt or the shorts, but they'll have like some long like stockings or something under them. What, I forget what you call those things that the girls wear. um Maybe that could be a requirement. you know I wouldn't have much of a problem with that. But to tell these young women that they cannot, wear dresses and not be feminine, basically, I have a problem with that. I have a huge problem with that, especially in today's culture where a lot of that's being promoted. And I think this is this school district's slick and sly way or undercover way of basically trying to do away, trying to make these young ladies not show their feminine side, if that makes sense. So I think that that part of it's not good. As I said, I can understand sometimes, with the hoodies over the head and over the face, you don't want that. I understand. It's difficult to teach with that. You don't know if the kid is looking at you or if they're asleep. They could be sitting here like this with the phone under here talk. You don't know. I mean, personally, as a teacher, if I was a teacher and hey, you don't want to learn, okay, I'm going to fail you. That's my first thought. Honestly, but I think the better thing is to, really not do that and see what we can do to help them. And I think a better way of, you know, I guess a better way of doing this is allowing them to wear the hoodies, but indoors, your hood cannot be on your head. The second you walk through the school doors, that hood must come off. And there should be consequences and repercussions if you get caught with the hood on indoors. I could understand that. Like that would have been a better way of implementing this. But for some reason, they just want to completely ban it. And like I say, I think they have their own reasons for doing that, but that's just my opinion. Now, let me actually show you this also. See, this will kind of let you know where this is actually going, because there are some people who are complaining and fighting back. So let's take a look and see where this is going. And here we go.
Sounding off on the new policy. Sheila Thrash asks, when did skirts become unprofessional? And Emily McKnight, you said, this dress code is stricter than my work dress code.
Those are just a couple of the nearly 5,000 comments you have left on our Facebook page.
And that first question, that's a great question. When did skirts become unprofessional? Because remember in the beginning of the video from the school district from Forney ISD, they said that what they're doing, is going to create more professionalism. And that first question there, that's valid. When did skirts become unprofessional? The only time I could see a skirt, being unprofessional is if it's too short or if it's too tight. But if the fit is right and it's not revealing, that's professional. But anyways, I digress. Let's go on.
Forney ISD is banning hoodies, skirts, dresses, and skirts for all students beyond 4th grade.
The changes take effect for the upcoming school year, and the district says it'll help improve students' self-esteem.
But some families are telling Tiffany Liu they don't buy the district's explanation.
I'm sorry, before we get into that, they're saying that it's going to help the students' self-esteem. Please explain that one to me. Like, break that down for me. Because I don't understand how having girls, banning dresses and skirts and skirts. I don't understand how that's helping a young lady's self-esteem. Like, explain that to me. Like, if you all who are listening right now, leave that in the comments. Explain that to me, how that could help self-esteem. Anyway, just had to get that out.
In a few weeks, Brooklyn Holloman will dig through her closet looking for clothes to wear on her first day of 10th grade.
And we were allowed to wear dresses and skirts and skirts and everything like that.
But this fall, the Forney high schooler will have to limit what she can and can't put on. Forney Independent School District is updating its dress code for the upcoming school year. The district has a 7-page document with every detail, but the most notable changes include this. No clothing with hoods can be worn inside. That includes hoodies, jackets, and coats. Also, dresses, skirts, and skirts cannot be worn by 5th graders or older. Pre-K through 4th graders are still allowed to wear the latter.
I even have a little sister that can't wear skirts anymore.
In a statement, Forney ISD writes, the dress code is meant to improve student self-esteem, bridge socioeconomic differences among students, and promote positive behavior, thereby enhancing school safety and improving the learning environment.
I think people should be able to wear them as long as they're appropriate.
Students like
Exactly.
Brooklyn aren't okay with it, so she started a petition already gathering thousands of signatures against the new dress code.
A young lady should be able to choose what she wears. They shouldn't be forced to wear pants.
Her
Exactly.
parents, Derek and Amy, fully support her. Derek says he spoke to the district to find out why.
And I was told that basically hoodies were a safety issue, that kids wouldn't take the hoods off their head. When I asked regarding the dresses, I was told that they were trying to teach professionalism.
The Holloman family disagrees with the reasoning.
I don't think adding this extra dress code is going to help the situation at all.
On Monday, Brooklyn hopes to appeal to the school board and revert the dress code to what it was before.
We've got the momentum going.
In Forney, I'm Tiffany Liu.
Yeah, that wow, that the young lady and her mom and dad have a great point. It's not helping with self-esteem. I don't really buy that. That's the real reason for them changing the dress code. I think there's something underlying that they're not wanting to just come out and say right now. My personal opinion, I think it's more so they're kind of leaning, leaning with the conforming to the culture a little bit. Um, First of all, we should be thankful that there are still young ladies out there, young women out there who are not afraid to be feminine and wear dresses and skirts, or skirts. We should definitely be thankful, for that, because in this day and age, in this, in these times, you know, there are a lot of there's a lot of identity confusion. Let's put it that way. Um, but yeah, I just don't see. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't overturned, because you would have to provide a true, valid reason to ban these. Now they said they don't want them to wear the hooded, jackets, coats, sweatshirts, whatever, indoors, inside. And as I said, I wouldn't completely ban them from wearing them inside. What I would do is make sure that there will be, there'd be consequences and repercussions if you get caught with the actual hood part on your head. Because let's be honest, some of these classrooms, if you've gone to school, whether it's, you know, elementary, middle school, high school, college, whatever, some of these classrooms be cold. And some of the teachers actually like these classrooms cold. So if you're in a cold classroom, you're going to want, a jacket on. Even if it has a hood on it, just make sure you don't put the hood on over your head. Just put the jacket on to stay warm, And then, okay, that means, most schools, when I was going to school, schools, you weren't even allowed to wear a cap in the classroom. Now, I don't know about now. I think maybe some, teachers or school districts may allow you to wear certain caps. But if it's cold and you don't, and the dress code already, doesn't permit you to wear caps in the classroom. Now all of a sudden you can't wear a jacket or a sweatshirt or anything with a hood on it. What are you gonna do to stay warm? Because I'm telling you, there are teachers out there who like their classroom to be at a certain temperature, maybe because they're up moving around, talking, doing whatever, and the students are normally just sitting there. Therefore, the teacher may get a little, hot at some point because they're moving around. But still, we've got to do better than this. We have to do better than this, people. I mean, there are so many things going on right now. And as I said, I think this is just a very sneaky way of basically telling young ladies that they cannot be feminine. That's just my opinion, though. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. And if you're listening to us on podcast, hey, there's a way you can leave comments there too. Do it. Let me know what you think. And as I always say, never let any so-called politician or any mainstream media personality dictate what you do and how you think. Do the research and think for yourself. See you. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.